Just a little video in relation to that post that was on the group, Aquarius and Leo, and the dynamic between the two. Well, the first most obvious thing that I notice is Leo is the sign of children. It's the child, it's children. So it's the young age. The sun, which rules Leo, is a 1-year-old. So the sun takes 1 year to 1-year-old. So it's the energy of youth, spring, play. It's fun. It's the fun of prematurity. It's the joy of youth, where there's like no responsibility. There's no heavy weight or necessity of reality. So it's the fun that comes from expressing the energy of the sun. It's just like it's a pure, illuminated, express, joyful. It's full of light. Like sitting in the sun. It's just beautiful. It's joyful being a child. It's easy, unless you come into a satanic situation, planet, where you get abused and shitty parenting and all that, which is another subject altogether, kind of more of an 8th house deal. But it's light. But Aquarius, the opposite sign, is actually dealing with like great age. Actually, it's Uranus is a 85-year cycle. So it's a lot of people get a Uranus return, and it's an 84-year cycle. So you get that once in your life, and it's funny. It does, people who've had this, they do return to a youthful aspect, but it's 85 years. It's a lot of maturity. It's a lot of age. It's a lot of experience that goes with that. So it's the opposite of the aged energy of Uranus, the old, co-rules 11th house and Saturn and Uranus. But Uranus is also it's a very old energy. It's an old primordial god, of the sky. So it's very, very energized by Uranus. And so primarily Aquarius Leo is basically age and youth, and that dynamic of the two, which you'll see will play out in the chart as well, because you see the conditions of planets, like pre 10 degrees and post 20 degrees also have this dynamic play out. So you'll see, check your chart where your planets are below 10 degrees, and they'll have a childlike aspect to them, but planets above 20 degrees have a maturity to them. And depending on your planets in your natal chart, whether you've got mostly matured planets or mostly younger planets, or a mix of the two, or wherever that sits, will sort of indicate like the way your soul plays out. And often it's a case of balancing the two, of balancing, if you've got a lot of matured later degree planets, the key for you, because the problem is going to be you're too mature, you've just got too much aged conditions in your soul. So what you're going to really need is the youthful energy of the early degree signs to bring you back to that original innocence and that primordial youth that's the condition of the sun. So now, just speculating, there could be different on other planets, different systems that revolve around a different sun. They'll have a different length of this, but given the flat earth reality, this is what we know. This is where we've been evolved. It's a 1-year-old thing. So it's a 1-year-old. So but yeah, that's the dynamic of Aquarius and Leo, and that plays out in the chart with the age of the degrees. So check that out. And if you're too Uranian, if you've got a lot of older planets, you need to come into the more solar, original energies of the sun. So check that in your chart, and let me know how you're doing with that. Often you'll find, and I've found from doing clients, it's often about returning to the Jesus said, you must become as little children and enter the kingdom, and it's like that. We have to go back to the earlier stages. Reality in life will always make us the conditions, heavier as we go. So it's often about returning to that innocence. So I think that's the primary dynamic I noticed. Anyway, what do you guys reckon?